Welcome to the Blue Purple OP11 Snake Man Luffy deck breakdown. We're going to be going over the deck list, what the leader does, starting hands, card options for the deck, the curve of the deck, and then we're going to cap it off with some gameplay. So if that is something that you're excited about, stay tuned. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Kaizoku.
This video is brought to you by Adakai TCG. Shop the latest in premium holographic textured custom One Piece cards. Designed for collectors, crafted to stand out. Use code Kaizoku for 15% off your next order. This video is sponsored by gumgum.gg. Discover Western OP10 lists and Eastern OP11 lists on gumgum.gg. Updated daily. Be the first to see decks for new leaders as they emerge. With over 1,000 deck lists per set, gumgum.gg has all the top strategies as soon as they drop. This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. Alright, so Blue Purple Luffy is gonna be the next boogeyman of the meta. People are considering him like the tier 0 deck of the format, the BDIF. He makes up like at least a quarter of all tops in Japan at the moment. So in case you don't know what he does, Blue Purple Luffy is a dual color leader, 6,000 power, 3 starting life. His leader ability reads, you may activate this effect at the start of your turn. If you have 8 or more Dawn cards on the field, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal one Straw Hat Crew type card and add it to your hand, then place the remaining cards back on the top or bottom of your deck in any order. So yeah, essentially once you're at 8 Dawn, and that's starting at 8 Dawn, it's not 6 Dawn ramping to 8 Dawn. You essentially get to search for free a Straw Hat card. And yeah, we're purple, right? So we get access to all the good purple Straw Hats. So basically the deck is just ramp as quickly as you can to your late game and just play as many menaces, as many threats as you can before your opponent can deal with it. So without further ado, let's just take a look at the deck list. For OP05 Zorojuro, 3 costs, 4k power, 1k counter. When attacking, if you have 3 or less life cards, add up to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck and set it as active. We start off at 3 life. We don't have to worry about taking life or like making sure that your opponent attacks you at any point before this. We always have access to Zorojuro if he lives, right? That's one of the downsides against like black decks or removal heavy decks. But yeah, he's just a way just to get an active Dawn on your next turn. If you don't have a way to chain it with another ramp effect, you could just attach Dawn to him to attack with anyway. And he has 1k counter, so it's not the worst thing in the world. 4 starter deck 18 Usohachi, 3 cost, 2k power, 2k counter. On play, if you have 8 or more Dawn cards on your field, rest up to one of your opponent's 5 cost less characters. We get to 8 really quick. This is like the best purple 2k counter. It rests some of your opponent's blockers when you're trying to go for game or something. So yeah, of course we run it. It's a Straw Hat too, so it's searchable by our leader ability. 1 OP06 Charlotte Pudding, 4 cost, 4k power, 1k counter. On play, you can make your opponent return all the cards in their hand back into their deck, and then they shuffle it and draw a new hand of 5. So yeah, we're blue, so we might as well run Pudding. The fact that we can always like look at the top 5 of our deck and then rearrange it, it's as if we can find this Pudding pretty easily. It's like we have a searcher for it without really having a searcher for it. So I felt like 1 is enough. If you do feel like you need 2, that's also great merit, right? I feel like 2 makes it a little bit more consistent, but the fact that we're able to search pretty much every turn after we're at 8 Dawn, I felt like 1 is enough for me. 4 EB01 Mr. 2, 4 cost, 1k power, 1k counter. On play, you ramp an active Dawn, and then when attacking, you can copy one of your opponent's characters. Mr. 2 basically gains their attack as his own base attack. So that does mean like any Dawn you attach to this Mr. 2 is as if you attach Dawn to your opponent's character. And yeah, basically you're swinging with their power. But we mainly use them just for the ramp. That's going to be a recurring theme. A lot of these cards are just a ramp to get us safely to 8 Dawn. 4 OP05 Miss Doublefinger, 4 cost, 4k power, 2k counter. So just a 2k counter in the deck. It's not a Straw Hat. It's not searchable. But on play, if you trash a card from your hand, you can add up to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck as rested. So yeah, it's an emergency way to ramp while also being defensive and having a 2k in the deck. Honestly, it could be a flex slot for you, but I value having the reliability of having a ramp always in my hand. But yeah, if you don't want to run Miss Doublefinger, we'll go over card options in a bit. 4 OP011 Nami, 5 cost, 6k power, 1k counter, blocker, and then on play, if your leader is multicolored, which we are, draw 3 cards and place 2 cards from your hand back on the top or bottom of your deck in any order. So yeah, it is +1 card in advantage in our hand. She's also a blocker. She's a nice 6k attacker as well. You can even synergize her with the 9 cost Sanji, because you can set up what you're gonna play with the Sanji with this Nami if your leader ability doesn't get you there anyway. This is like another layer on top of that as a failsafe to get your Sanji plays to be super optimized. But also a great way to get rid of like a bunch of bricks in your hand. A lot of the big drops in our deck are better off like in the top card of our deck played out by the Sanji than in our hand. So yeah, you could just get rid of them in your hand if they clog it up too much. 1 OP11 Monkey D Luffy, 8 cost, 8k power. He has rush, and then when attacking, you can trash a card from your hand. Return it to 1 character with a cost of 4 or less to your owner's hand, and then give it to 1 rested Dawn to one of your leaders or characters. So yeah, this is just a nice like rush threat that your opponent may not be expecting. I only run it as a 1-of just as like a surprise factor. Because not only can he get rid of like a 4 cost blocker, but even puts a Dawn onto your leader to be a 7k or on himself to be a 9k. right? 8 Dawn for a 9k swing is pretty sweet. But yeah, the fact that our leader ability can search for this guy, I feel like when I do need him, I most of the times can find him. For OP11 Charlotte Katakuri, 8 cost 8k power, blocker, and then at the end of your turn, set up to 2 of your Big Mom Pirates type characters with a cost of 3 or more as active, then add up to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck as rested. So this is like one of the most busted cards from OP11 actually. Like every purple deck runs it. The Purple Luffy runs it, this guy runs it. Essentially, he gets to become a blocker every turn, even if you attack with them. He also saves your 9 cost Big Mom too. And he's 8 Dawn, so he comes out a little quicker when your ramp doesn't line up. You'll for sure hit 8, because that's like the main goal of the deck, so you'll be able to play Katakuri on curve. But being able to play Katakuri off of a 9 cost Sanji is even better. Speaking of, for OP06 Sanji, 9 cost 9k power. On play, reveal the top card of your deck, and then you can play it if it's a 9 cost or less character that's not Sanji. Yeah, he's basically 9 Dawn to play 2 9 to 8 cost bodies, right? We want to rush to late game so we can play Sanji into a Katakuri, Sanji into a Luffy, Sanji into a Linlin. It's basically the goal of our deck. If we play 2 of these huge costed characters out, even if your opponent's like a super heavy removal deck, it's usually too much for them to have to deal with if you're like playing 2 bodies a turn, right? And the fact that Sanji is a Straw Hat means you can like target him from the top 5 of your leader ability, and then the fact that you can put the remaining 4 back on top in any order means that you can rearrange and guarantee what this Sanji plays out. So it's basically the entire like super busted strength of this deck. For OP08 Charlotte Linlin, 9 cost 9k power. On play, Dawn -1, you can trash a card from your hand, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck on the top of your life pile, and then you can pick one of your opponent's 6 cost or lower characters and add it to the top or bottom of their life. So yeah, being a 3 life leader, just having this Linlin to heal, even if you don't top or bottom deck any of your opponent's characters, is like a godsend. You're recovering that precious health that you barely have any of. And then off of a 9 cost Sanji, just developing 2 9Ks like this is pretty crazy. And then again with the Katakuri, you can untap this Linlin after attacking if you have that Katakuri out, so she's protected from your opponent's attacks. This is especially relevant in the mirror. But yeah, this card was like made for this kind of deck. For OP09 Gum Giant, 1 cost counter event. Of course, we're purple and we're Straw Hat, so we have to run this. So Dawn -2, you trash a card from your hand, give up to one of your leaders or characters plus 4k power if you're a Straw Hat crew type leader, and then you draw 2 cards. So not only replaces itself, it's like filtering your hand to a pretty decent degree. It's a Straw Hat crew type card, so we can pick it from our leader ability whenever we need it. And we can even chain this into another Gum Giant, so it's so much counter. And the fact that we can rearrange the top 5 of our deck means that we can kind of control what we're drawing with the Gum Giants too, right? You put all the non-counter near the end of the top 5 and the counter that you're going to draw from Gum Giant near the top. So you'll more often than not know when you're going to survive or not. For OP11 Gear Second, 1 Dawn event. So it has a main and a counter effect. On main, if you rest 2 more Dawn on top of the 1 you pay for this, and your leader is blue, you can ramp 1 rested Dawn. And then on counter, up to 1 of your leaders gets plus 3k power during a battle. So yeah, it's multifaceted, right? You can pay 3 Dawn to ramp a rested Dawn, or you could save it for late game to protect your leader. The only downside is it does not protect your characters and it doesn't have a trigger, so do be aware of that. But yeah, it's a 3 Dawn guaranteed ramp for your early game, if anything. 2 OP01 Thunder Bogwad. 2 cost counter event. It gives one of your leaders or characters plus 4,000 power for this battle. Then if you have 2 or less life cards, you can add up to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck as rested. We have 3 life, we just have to take 1. This is just for like the super aggro matchups, because a lot of aggro decks completely destroy Blue Purple Luffy, unfortunately. So having this as a way to like stop an attack and also ramp is really great and keeping you healthy. Because your other options, you're playing them out, they don't protect you, they just ramp you. This one does both, at the very least. But you do have to leave 2 Dawn up to anticipate your opponent attacking you. For OP08, it's to die for. 3 cost event. On main, you can add to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck as active, and then if your opponent has a character with 6,000 power or more, you could ramp another additional Dawn as active, so you can ramp 2 Dawn potentially for 3. Now, if you're playing this on curve, your opponent usually doesn't have a 6k on board, but against like Purple Luffy and stuff like that, where they can ramp to 4 and play that Zorojuro, this can actually get you 2 Dawn sometimes. Or if your opponent triggers out a Kikunojo, that's a nice time to get 2 Dawn from this. It's to die for as well. But also on trigger, you can ramp 1 active Dawn. But yeah, if we can just get 1 Dawn from this, that's enough. Right? There's a lot of turns where you can play like a Mr. 2 into It's to die for to ramp twice in a turn. And lastly, we have 2 OP04 Gum Red Rock, 6 Dawn event. On main, you can bottom deck any character on board. And then on trigger, you can bottom deck a 4 cost or less. So this is basically just for the mirror and for Shanks and Enel. It's completely a tech card, so if the meta ends up not being like Blue Purple Luffy heavy, you may want to cut this, but I doubt that's going to happen. So you're probably going to run at least 2 of these. And yeah, since OP11 has not been released yet, some of these cards don't have prices yet, but if you wanted to prepare ahead of time, there's a show prices button on my deck builder. So if you wanted to buy out the cards in preparation for Blue Purple Luffy, it's like $392 for the cheapest version of each card. If you do happen to be using my deck builder, all these shopping cart links take you to TCG Player through my affiliate link. So if you wanted to support me and you're going to buy these cards anyway, this is a great way to do it. And yeah, it looks like you're just missing the leader, the Namis, the Snake Man Luffy, the Katakuris, and then the Gear Seconds. But yeah, do keep in mind that the Namis and the Katakuris are SRs, and then the secret rare, depending on how many you want to run, you could run 0, to be honest, but those are going to be your most expensive cards, so just be aware of that. But everything else, like, it's mainly just the Mr. 2 that's costing you all the money. And Sanjis are pretty pricey now just because of this guy, really. So if you haven't gotten them yet, you probably should get them now before they go up even higher. And then for your convenience, if you want to buy all the cards that do have prices so far, there's a TCG Player Mass Entry button. If you click that, it copies whatever cards are available as of now. And then you can just paste it into their Mass Entry page. It'll add the entire deck list to your cart. And then once OP11 does release and they're on TCG Player, the OP11 cards should start showing up as well, automatically. I don't have to do anything. So we'll move on to the starting hands. So for starting hands, you basically just want any ramp that you can get, right? Zorojiro ramps, Mr. 2 ramps, Double Finger, emergency ramp. You kind of want to save her as a 2K if you can, but if you don't have anything else, use her. Like your second ramps, Thunder Bagua ramps against aggro, it's the die 4 ramps. And then you want Sanjis already in hand if you can help it, right? Getting to your 10 Dawn turn and not having a Sanji play can be kind of detrimental. It's pretty disadvantageous into a lot of matchups, and it's straight up losing into the mirror, right? If you're not able to get your Sanji to match their Sanji, you basically lose, unfortunately. So just having it in hand can like buy you some relief. And then we'll move on to cards to consider. So here are some card options for the deck. So people used to run this Luffy back in the beginning of OP11 in the East. It was just like a kind of like a mini 8-cost Katakuri you can play out earlier. He's a blocker, 5-cost 7k blocker with counter too, so really defensive. Because yeah, aggro is like your weakest matchup. And then if you have 5 or less cards in your hand, this card cannot attack. So in the late game when you start drawing a bunch of cards, you can swing with this Luffy. But I feel like guaranteeing the ramp seems to be more worth it, especially in the mirror, right? If you have this Luffy out in the mirror and they ramp to 8 before you do, I don't think this is going to help you as much. And then if you don't want to run Miss Double Finger, this blocker Sanji is always a great option. It's searchable in the deck and it's an emergency 6k blocker. Usohachi has a hard time dealing with it because it's a 6 cost. Your opponent's Snake Man Luffy can't bounce it either because it's a 6 cost. There's also God Threat as an option, right? So Thunder Bagua is like the defensive way to ramp and stop an attack. God Threat would be the offensive way to do it. You just straight up kill one of their 5 costs or less and then also ramp after that. But it does cost 5 Dawn, so you do kind of have to commit like a whole turns with the Dawn for this. But yeah, it's definitely an option, and on trigger it ramps you an active Dawn too. Then Gravity Blade from OP06 can be a nice tech option against a lot of like wide decks, right? This is good against like U Doflamingo, Bello Betty, Kalgara, the likes of that. Because it bottom decks 2 6-cost or less characters for 7 Dawn. So yeah, it just depends on your local meta. If you think you need this, put it in your deck for sure. Then we'll move on to the curve. Alright, so yeah, I updated my like board state maker, so there's you can see your opponent's board, you can see your hand too, so if you want to check it out yourself, just check out my deck builder. But yeah, we'll show the curve going first. So you want to go 1 Dawn, you have nothing to play, respectable, you know, understandable. So it goes to your 3 Dawn turn. Here's where you want to play either like a Gear Second to ramp you, it's to die for to ramp you, or if you can greet it and you know your opponent can't remove it, Zorojiro is a good option. So it passes to your 5 Dawn turn after this. Here's where you can just swing with the Zorojiro and ramp 1 active Dawn. Then it gives you 6 Dawn to work with. You could play a Mr. 2, so that'll ramp you 1 active Dawn. Then you could play an Insta Die for at this point. For 3, this will ramp you an active Dawn. And then you're at 8 now, right? So that's how you get to 8 going first. You could put Dawn on your leader and then swing for 7. On your next turn, when it starts, your leader ability activates. You can look at your top 5 for a Straw Hat and rearrange. So that's how you get the ball rolling going first. Now going second, you would start 2 Dawn, nothing to do, passes. Goes to your 4 Dawn turn. So you could either play basically any of your ramp options, right? You have Mr. 2, Gear Second, Zorojiro, Double Finger, or it's to die for. So let's say we play Mr. 2 here. Ramp an active Dawn, passes to your next turn. So you go to 7 here. And at this point, you just need to ramp once. So if you have like a Gear Second or something you could play, that works. That'll ramp you to 8. And then if you wanted, you could play like a Nami at this point to set up your like Sanji plays, right? Nami is an option for the remaining 5 Dawn. And as we mentioned, it goes to your 10 Dawn turn next turn, so you get to use your leader ability, set up your Sanjis and stuff. So you want to get it so that like the card you draw from your top 5 is added to your hand, and that's a Straw Hat Crew type card. So you want to get like a 2k counter or something, whatever you need, right? You can get like a Usohachi, where is he? Here he is. Usohachi to hand. You'll rearrange the top remaining 4 cards of your deck so that the top card is what you draw, because you still have to draw for turn, which could be another counter card or whatever you need, or even Gungam Giant. And then the card after that is what you play out with your Sanji for 9. So yeah, that's basically how this leader works. And here is Blue Purple Luffy's matchup spread in OP11. Out of 63,000 games that I have recorded, he has a weighted win rate of 57.2%, incredibly high, a going first win rate of 60.8%, a going second win rate of 54.1%. Does go better significantly going first than versus going second. Here is how his matchups break down below here. So yeah, has a pretty decent matchup, more than decent into a lot of decks here. Where he slowly gets to the unfavorable matchups is against aggro, right? So green, yellow, Law is really aggressive. So is green, purple Luffy, red Zoro, purple Luffy, and then red, yellow Bilibeti. Purple Luffy is like the second most popular deck at the moment, not at the beginning of OP11, but currently, as it stands, like the number 2 deck, because he can contend with Blue Purple Luffy pretty well. And yeah, Zoro and Bilibeti just absolutely demolish him. Pudding is surprising. Purple Yellow Pudding, I guess the 10 moms, something you cannot really like play against, right? You can't Gungam Giant out of burning a life from 10 cost Big Mom. But yeah, into the conventional, like top of the meta at the moment, right? That's decks like Shanks, Lucci, Blackbeard. He does amazingly well into all 3 of those. You can check out my match history app to get access to these stats. www.cardkaizoku.com/matchhistory. I also have like leader rankings and a matchup table as well. I also have like leader specific tech card options too if you click on a particular leader in the matchup table. So yeah, let's see Blue Purple Luffy versus Green Purple Luffy for OP11 data. Right, these are tech options against Green Purple Luffy. It seems that these cards show up more in decks that win against this particular leader. So God Thread is a way to kill their Sanji and Pudding if they don't find it going merry. Pudding is also really devastating against them. They do get pretty crazy with hand size, so you should just deny half their hand with the Pudding. It'd be pretty nice. Mihawk as well, it's a late game option. You can cheat out with the Sanji that can bottom deck a Sanji and Pudding. This is a way to deal with them really well. Likewise, the 9 cost Big Mom gets rid of their Sanji and Pudding if they don't happen to get that stage card, or their second Sanji and Pudding that they can't stage. You can get rid of it that way. And of course, your defensive events, Gear Second and Gungam Giant, help keep you alive from their secret Luffy from finishing you off. So that information is available too. But yeah, it looks like if you want a chance against Green Purple Luffy, you want to go first. You don't want to give it to him. But yeah, if you want to see anything more detailed than that, you're just going to have to check out the match history app yourself. And yeah, that's pretty much the deck, Blue Purple Luffy. It is like the best deck in format contender for OP11. To be honest, they might even ban or like hit the deck in some way before it even reaches us. But they do only have a month from the release of this video, so we'll see what they do. For now, as it stands, this is going to be a legal leader, a really strong leader in the meta. It's going to be the meta, so you're going to have to learn to play with or against it. So I hope you give the deck a try. And yeah, this is a very generalized list. I'm pretty sure once our Western meta develops, there's going to be a lot of tech choices you're going to have to make. But this is like general good against everything at the moment and even into the mirror. So yeah, I hope you give the deck a try. I'll have a link to this deck in my deck builder in the description below if you want to just click it to easily get it all loaded. And you can even import it into the sim easily that way. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Check out my other videos. I do a bunch of deck breakdowns and gameplay videos as well. So on to the gameplay footage. Alrighty, so Blue Purple Luffy versus Shanks. Shanks is top dog at the moment. Going into OP11, we'll see if he remains as such after my guy's out. Hey, we'll keep this hand with basically 4 ramp effects. We just gotta hope we get the Sanjis and stuff when we need it. Okay, so they passed their 2 Dawn turn. We'll go to our 3 Dawn turn. We'll play out Zorojuro after attacking for 6. I kind of wish it didn't prompt us for a leader ability when we don't have the Dawn for it, because I have to click cancel every time. At least do it every turn after I'm at 8. Okay, 6 at our face. We'll just take that one. Okay, Hongo. So I don't have a way to deal with that. It's going to be annoying for later, but we'll just ramp to 6 here, and then we could do double gear seconds. We'll do 6 at lead, or we can play a Mr. 2. Mr. 2 would be great against him for later. But if I double gear second, it gets me to 8. We'll go for Mr. 2. I think it's more safe. Then we'll gear second anyway. Right. Gear second can always be 3k counter later, but Mr. 2 could be a 1k counter that I might need for this turn. But I do have like 6k counter in hand, so maybe this is a better play in the end. Right. Either Mr. 2 dies to Ben Beckman later, or I get to copy like one of his big characters. 7 at Zorojuro, sure. He plays a Lucky Roo, that's going to be awkward for me, because Mr. 2 is just going to die. Okay, he did play it. But yeah, we hit 8, so we get the leader ability. Let's take Straw Hat. Bedrock would be nice. I can get rid of like a Shanks later. Then we'll draw into the Sanji. which we top deck by the way, because yeah, our hand, the top 4 didn't really do anything for us. We'll play a pudding here just to disrupt them a bit. Then a Nami, but actually I probably should not have played these first. I should have attacked first, because now you can target my Nami with the Lucky Roo. We'll bottom deck these 2, and then we'll just swing 7 at lead. Yeah, we'll just... This Mr. 2 is probably going to die anyway, so we'll just swing now. Get his leader ability out of the way. And then 7 lead... I think this was pretty bad of me. Lucky Roo could have completely destroyed my day here, but he did not end up blocking. I think he should have blocked. He took a lot of life, actually. It's going to get harder for him to defend himself once I play my 9 drops out, so he does kill my Mr. 2. He does have Hongo and stuff, right? He probably is setting up for a way to kill my big stuff. Like with the 7 cost teach. Hongo 7 cost teach and like building snakes can do quite a lot of damage. That's enough, right? Because that's minus 5k. That brings all my 9ks into 4k range, which teach can kill. Huh. Okay, I need a way to get rid of that Hongo. He uses it now on my Nami. Plays a Newgate to kill my Nami. Yeah. Okay, I gotta get rid of that Hongo. Plays an Uta Searcher too. Okay. Looking for your Shanks. Finds a building snake. Okay, so I'm glad I have a Sanji, because at least one of my things is gonna die to that Newgate next turn. Let's take a Gum Giant or Sanji. That would be better at this point, and then we'll set up for a 9 Mom. We'll draw the Gum Giant. No, let's draw a counter. We'll kill Hongo hopefully with the pudding, but he could just block with that Lucky Roo here. Okay, leader ability, and then counter 1. Okay. We'll Sanji into 9 Mom. We'll put the Lucky Roo in life then, in that case. I don't need 2 red rocks, do I? 1's enough, probably. Then Lucky Roo into life. We'll swing 6 at the Hongo. 7 at the Hongo, just to be sure he dies. Please die. Die. In hindsight, maybe 5 pudding 6 leader would have been better. Because 5 probably would have gotten it, right? And I can throw my 6 at his face. Okay, he died finally. Yeah, it's like one of my first few games playing this leader after a long time, so little bit shabby, a little rusty. So plays a Silver Israeli, but it'll just get better as the games progress, so hopefully the later games in this video aren't as scuffed. But it's like from 99% efficiency to like 94, right? That's the level of scuffness going on here. It's not the worst thing in the world. No need to be dramatic, guys. So he plays an Otama to debuff my Linlin, so that's 7k. He needs 2k more. Building Snake is enough. Okay, so Newgate can pop my Linlin. But he has to use a 2k every time, right? So that's great for me. He's got 8k to swing at my face. I have 3 life. I can take one. Another Building Snake. He's setting up. Kills my pudding. Okay, so with the Silver Israeli blocker, if I want to forgo developing anything to kill his Newgate, that's what I would have to sacrifice. But yeah, we'll just set up for Katakuri, I think, would be the better option. Right, he kills 1 thing a turn, I just develop 2 things a turn. 6 at face. That's how I play around him. Sanji 9 at lead. He took a 6, that was kind of weird. He's gonna take a 9 too. Is he gonna block? Okay, he debuffed, and then he's gonna counter 4. Or he could block counter 3. He countered 4 with 2 Otamas. Okay. Sanji and the Katakuri will pass. Let's untap. Nothing to untap. I have a bad habit of leaving down up for Gungam Giant even when I don't have it. It's kind of like muscle memory. I gotta really work on that. Right? Because I don't think I even want to bluff it at this point. It doesn't really matter if I bluff it. I have 3 life. So I should have just swung 7 with my leader. He took it anyway, but yeah, I notice Gungam Giant's making me develop bad habits. Well, actually, it's a good habit to leave down up normally, but not when you don't have the card in your hand. Okay, so he Building Snake my blocker. That's enough for him to pop with Newgate or with that Rayleigh. Rayleigh pops it too. Right, just gives it another 2k here. Yep, that's enough to pop it. Newgate cannot kill my Sanji unless he has a way to give minus 1k to it, which would be scary. Okay, he doesn't have a way to do it. 7 at 6 will counter 2. Swing 8 at it, I will counter 3 with the Newgate. Yup, okay, we'll counter. And I left on up for nothing again. So we will leader ability. Let's take... Okay, we can only take your second. We might want to bottom this and then hope to get lucky with something. We get a Gungam Giant. Okay, that's as lucky as we could get. Let's red rock the Rayleigh. Yeah. Or in hindsight, maybe Newgate would have been the better choice. Because they're same attack. But one guy can KO my stuff, the other guy is just a stat stick, but oh well, too late now. 7k Sanji. You know, action first, think later. Right, that's the theme of Snake Man. He's just really fast. He could be so fast that Katakuri couldn't see into the future far enough for him to anticipate his attacks. Is that a spoiler? Okay, leader abilities counters 2. How many people are like, what? Luffy and Katakuri fought? What the heck? Okay, took a 7. How about a Shnine? Are you gonna block? Snake Man Luffy is Luffy? What the heck? When did you get that form? If I remember correctly, he only uses it like 2 to 3 times in the series before he gets like year 4th. He plays Silver Israeli, second blocker. He has a Lucky Roo as well. Could block her up like crazy. Would 3 blockers be enough to stop? Yeah, probably, but that won't win him the game. Right, because that just delays things a turn. He'll bot me with the Newgate, but I have 3 life. That's my saving grace. Okay, 11, 12, 13? 13k at Sanji. So that's a Gungam Giant and then a 1k. So we'll do that. 1k and then... I guess I don't need the gear second. I should have maybe chucked that, but... Oh well, let's see. Let's take a Luffy. No, we can't bounce the Rayleigh back. But it's still a rush attacker, but we'll just take a blocker here. And we'll just draw the Luffy anyway. With Luffy, I can do 9999, right? We'll do 9 with the Sanji. See what if he blocks, that means he doesn't have enough to stop a 9k. Leader ability, okay. He can stop this one probably, yeah. Okay, 2 cards in hand, 9k should go through. Yeah, my 999 should finish. We do 8 though, just for BM. Oh no, it's 899. Yeah, I can't do 999. So if he couldn't stop an 899, will for sure get us the game. Here's Luffy. Swing, and then put a Dawn on himself. I have to bounce something. Oh, he concedes. Okay, cool. Alright, we have Blue Purple Luffy versus Doflamingo. We have 1 ramp. Oh, we have 2 ramp, 2 ramp. Gear second. But I might need it to protect myself, actually. I just have to survive until I'm at 8 Dawn, which can be kind of hard. Doflamingo does poop out a lot of damage really early. Okay, so we know he has a bounce law in hand. 7 at us. We will counter 2. Probably should counter. Alright, AK with the boa. Okay, we have to take that. Let's gear second just to use it since we had the Dawn. Okay, so we will Dawn leader, swing 7 at boa, and then play Zoro Juro. Oh wait, he has law. Crap, I forgot. That was like a minute ago and I already forgot. Mr. 2 would have been better because I at least get the ramp. Shoot. Okay, so he's gonna bounce my Zoro back to hand. Yeah, it's fine. We're good. We are good. Right, because I go to 6 next turn, ramp to 7. I still hit 9 with Linlin. I just don't get the leader ability. 1 turn earlier. Completely my bad though. I don't know, maybe he doesn't play the law. Okay, so he plays Croc. And then he's gonna put 2 Dawn leader with the teach and put the law on top. Yeah. Oops, my mistakey. 7 will counter 2. Yep, bounce, bounce. Yep, counter 2, and then that's it. No, boa can attack. Okay, Zoro, you're gonna be counter in the end. Sorry. Okay, so we go to 7. Then we kill a boa if we can for 9. I just wanted to handicap myself, you know, just so I can stabilize and practice my stabilization skills. It plays with Sengoku. Yeah, this teaches a problem for aggroing us down this early. Finds a boa Hancock. Okay. So he plays that out. He still has Dawn for leader ability. Especially with the teach, he has it anyway. But with boa, just boa is enough. Okay, plays a Perona. What's he looking for that he didn't find with the boa? Because he bottom decked that. I can do that too, 2 turns later. I get that for free every turn, actually, after that point. Okay, Croc 6, I don't have counter. We might have to go to 0 here. 6, oh my god, no counter. Okay, we might be dead here. Another 6 we have to take. It's gonna do 7 leader ability at the take. At least we can heal with the Lin. My god, that's so bad. We brick so hard. Another brick. Okay, if we were at 10 down, we'd be a lot safer here, so it's completely my bad, but let's see if we can get out of this. So we'll swing 6 at Law, copy the Weevil. Counter 2. Okay, another 6 at him. Please die. Okay, we got one guy out of the way. Lin. Get rid of non-counter. Red Rock, and then put Weevil on life. Okay, if he splits with the leader, he kills me, but he doesn't know that I have no counter in hand. His safer bet would just be develop board and go for game next turn. So kills my Mr. 2 with Sengoku, right? Because for all he knows, I have like 4k, 5k counter in hand. It's actually only 3k. 6 at us, we counter 1. Okay, plays an Odin, what the heck? Okay, cannot be removed by from the field unless he trashes 2 cards to save him, right? So 7 will counter 2. So it's Sticky Odin. Sticky Odin, we want 1k counter, and then we'll put Lin on top. So we'll draw the 2k and then Lin. Alright, we'll throw 6 at Crocodile. Die. Counter 2, 1ks, okay. 9 at him, it should kill him. Then we'll Sanji into Lin. Let's get rid of probably the Sanji. I'm gonna have to get rid of him. And then put Weevil into life. So Odin still threatens lethal on us if he does double attack. But we have Gungam Giant. Hopefully that helps us. Plays a Boa. Okay, Odin's pretty sweet in that deck. I might have to try that out. Except he aggressively teached early on, so he doesn't have the cards for Odin to save him. Okay, he's gonna throw a big number at me. 7, 8. He can do 8 with leader and leader ability, and then still attack twice with Odin. That might be what he does. Okay, 8 on. Yep. Gecko Moria. Gets him a Mihawk. Okay, we'll have to Gungam Giant this. Or we could give a second. And then he attacks me for 8. Yeah, because I still want the leader ability next turn. If I Gungam Giant, I go to 7. Okay, he untaps the Odin, swings 8 again. I can counter out of that. And I'm still at 9 down, so I do get the leader ability. Yeah, I think that's much more safer. We don't get much here. We'll take a Nami. Do I bottom deck this? No, I think I can... What can I do? Take a Gungam Giant or take a 2k? Or a blocker? Take the blocker. And then we just ping away at his board. He only has 3 cards, so maybe the Odin dies. Let's try to burn some counter from the Gecko first. Oh, he dies, so no counter burned there. We'll do 9 at the Kozuki Odin. Counters 2. Another 9. Counters 2. Okay, we'll do another 9. He blocks or counters. He blocks. Okay, we'll do Katakuri. Pass. Untap these 9 moms. So am I dead? If he stacks everything on Odin, if I stop one of them, I'm good. Which I have a blocker, so I'm good. See, 3 down for leader and then 3 down for Odin. He could do like 12k twice. So I just Gungam Giant the leader hit and then block one of the Odins and then tank one of the Odins. Okay, yeah, there's 12. We could just take this one just to see if we get anything nice. Double finger? Okay, at least it's a 2k. He's gonna untap, yeah, and then another 12. We got a Gungam Giant and counter out of this. Or is it better to block cut the Kuti counter? No, that's still like 6k deficit. 4k deficit, I mean. So we'll just Gungam Giant. Then counter 3. Then the leader hit for 7, we can just block. Play Sengoku? Okay, so... Oh, he has a femur, okay. And then Sengoku. How do I play around a femur? I have 0 life. And he has 7 life, 8 life. Okay, Pudding will save us, actually. Take a 2k. And then we'll put Pudding on top. And then I'll make him take like every life hit right now just to putting it away. So that he doesn't gain any cards. So 10 at Odin just to kill him. This guy should die, please. Okay, he died. Okay, he's like, oh, I just gotta make it to my turn, then I'll femur him. Too bad you're not gonna make it. 7 at life. He takes. 9 at life. He takes. I want him to take every life hit, so another 9, and then we'll put Dawn on Katakuri. Just to entice him to counter. Not counter, to take. Here's 10. Take, please. Okay, then we'll putting him. Bye-bye to your femur. And then we'll potentially Gungam Giant into another Gungam Giant, so maybe this is enough. We'll untap Blocker and Linlin. Hopefully he only runs one Perfume Femur and he didn't draw it again. That would be bad if he did. 14, can I stop that with a Gungam Giant? Potentially. Yeah, like the 2 cards I draw have to be 2k counters. So if he does have Femur, I can survive, right? Gungam Giant's 4, and then I need 5k on top of that. No, 6k on top of that. So discard Nami and draw a 4k counter. Oh, he's attacking with the Sengoku. So we'll just Gungam Giant. Oh yeah, I would have had protection against Perfume Femur anyway, because of those 2 double fingers. Okay. Yeah, a little bit of a misplay in the beginning with the Zorojuros, but we still managed to pull it through. Got Blue Purple Luffy versus Usopp. Ooh, we mulliganed into a no ramp hand. I was hoping for a 2 ramp hand. I should have just kept the 1 ramp hand. 2 Sanjis is a little bricky. We're gonna take a lot of hits. Hopefully he doesn't hit us too much. Right, he's kind of slow, right? Slow like me. Okay, plays the stage. We will pass. If I can putting him, it'd be pretty nice, but he does counter often, just to be around the 5-6 card range, just to use his leader ability. So maybe putting is not going to be useful in this matchup. Let's play Leo. Why did I say that? Then picks up a Zoro and a one-legged soldier. There's something going around, right? That something with the L sound. Leo. Plays a one-legged soldier. Okay, he's gonna kill something with that later. I guess we'll just swing 10 at face. I have no ramp. Slow game. Okay, pass the turn. Leo. Chicken? Chicken? Okay, he attacks us. We get a Thunder Bagua trigger. We'll ramp 1. Plays a Rebecca and takes back to 2k. Plays it out. Okay. We will. We could play Nami and then swing 6 at the Barto. Or we can ramp with double finger, right? I do want to hit 8. My leader ability to start ramping up. Double finger and then 3 Dawn for 9k. 6 at the Barto. Okay, let's hit 9 draws. We can putting him. Yeah. Get that 2k away. We'll just play it low and slow. Keep the double finger for counter. Because we hit 9 next turn anyway. We can Linlin and then we'll start Sanjiing. Just because we have the card in our hand. Might as well make it fit our curve. So let's play a Zoro to pop my pudding and another Leo. Leo. Chicken. What is that from? What is that from? Okay, picks up a Barto and a Zoro. I feel like he's done that for the last 2 turns. Okay, hit 9. Well, 9 Mom. 9 Mom the one-legged soldier. For sure. I don't want him to kill my stuff or bounce my stuff. So 6 at face. He'll probably just block and draw. Yeah, block and draw. We'll play 9 Mom. Let's get rid of Gear 2nd. And get rid of his one-legged soldier. What if I Google Leo Chicken? What is that going to do? Okay, attacking 6k with Zoro will counter. And then 6 with leader. I found nothing from that Google search. We should probably take this. I think we can afford to take 1, right? Nothing else is going to attack us. So we'll take that double finger. Okay, that's good. Cavendish has nothing to attack, so he cannot attack. So no draw for him. Plays another Rebecca. These are annoying Rebeccas. Does he take back a Barto again? A Luffy, okay. Plays out an Ideo. So we leader ability. We can Sanji into Katakuri here. We'll draw 2k, take a Kata. We'll swing 6 at Ideo. He die, he draw. Linlin into Zoro. Probably they block. Okay, Sanji into Katakuri. Untap the Mom and we'll pass. If he's got like a Rebecca into Kairo's turn, it does nothing to my board. 6 with Cavendish. These are annoying though, these 6Ks. Counter 1. Then Zoro 6, I have to counter 2. Yeah. That's annoying. Hit a 6 with leader 2. That's going to be so freaking annoying. I could do 8, right? So I can leader ability here. I mean, not leader ability, Gungam Giant. And still leader ability is what I wanted to say. So there's the Kyros. If he did have that one-legged soldier, he could bounce my Katakuri back to hand. He bounced his own Leo back to hand. Okay, that's something you can do. Plays it out again. 7 my face, I can counter 2. Yeah, 7 my face, we will counter 2. Right, we sub another 8 cost Katakuri on top if I remember correctly. Yeah, there he is. So let's take Gum Giant. Let's take a counter. Then we'll draw into Gum and then Katakuri on top. Okay, we'll throw a 6 just to get a counter. Let's throw the 8s. Let's burn 2 cards here. Yep, and then we'll throw the 6. Not that it really matters. Counter 1. Okay, throw a 9 at the Cavendish. Die. Counters 4. Okay, where'd your hand go? Die. Died. Okay, he draws a card. We'll Sanji into Kata and pass. Untap my entire board. Okay, so I think we're in a commanding position now. We have a full board of 8 9k attackers, 2 blockers. Plays a Luffy. Okay, that might be a threat. 6 Setos will counter. I do have to get rid of him, right? Because he's going to stack down and just snipe all my guys. Counter 2 from the Zoro. Kairos will block counter 2. Then leader 6. We just block with Katakuri. Okay, I didn't have to Gungam Giant. Let's see. Oh, okay, Red Rock's going to help against that Luffy. So we'll just take the Sanji and get the Red Rock. That'll leave us Dawn up for Gungam Giant 2 if we need it. Okay, so Red Rock the Luffy. Then we'll do 8 at lead. He took it. Let's actually kill board. We'll kill everything but the Kairos. Okay, Zoro died. 8 at Rebecca. He died. She died, sorry. 9 at lead. Yeah, this way he only has leader and then Kairos to attack me, so I don't die for sure. Sanji 9. He probably counters this one. Yerp. Then 9 Mom for take. Pass. We'll untap everything with Katakuri. We'll pass. Okay, let's see how he gets out of this. He can't finish me, right? So I think we win. I guess he could run the Rush Luffy too. But they don't, right? Oh, he Gum King Kong gun. So those Leo's 10k. We'll Gum Giant this. Would have been scary if I didn't have blockers and Gum Giants at this point. Right, it feels like a little earlier. Yeah, the Leo would have been what give him lethal. He had 3 attackers after all. Another Kong Gatling on the Kairos will block the leader 7, and this is like 15. Block that one. Should have game here. Passes to us. He concedes. We got it. Bye.
Car D Kaizoku.